I don't know why they use K and not C. I'm sure because C represents something somewhere else, and so rather than I don't know. More confusion, the better, right? Sometimes for math in general. But the K and the M are very similar. The K is the rate at which something is happening. The K is the constant. The K is the slope, so on and so forth. So here we have a table. So go ahead and jot this table down. And I'm going to tell you, go ahead and just make it a T-chart. Make X and Y, and then just write those pairs down. It's probably the fastest way for you to go about doing that. So if you watched the video last night, I talked about how you want to be able to know if you can multiply across the table. So in order to check that, we actually have to divide. So we're going to set up the ratio of y over x for each of these ordered pairs to see what the rate is that it's being multiplied by. So for the first one, we're going to do 10.8 over 9. Then we'll do 14.4 over 12. And then 3.6 over negative 3. And we'll simplify each of these guys. Now, at this point, I don't care what calculator you use. You can use the one on your phones. You can use Desmos. If you have a laptop, Chromebook, they all have built-in calculators, whatever. So I want you to simplify or divide 10.8 by 9. I believe it's 1.2. We're going to do the same thing with 14.4 divided by 12. Should be 1.2 as well. But the last one, if you notice, it's 1.2, but it's negative. So are we multiplying by the same thing every time? No. Because of this guy right here, that automatically makes this not a direct variation. So we cannot write that equation, and this is your answer. It's not a direct variation. Okay? Let's try another one. But also remember that there are times where it doesn't work, like in this case. So keep that in mind. Again, write down the table, and we're going to check to see if this table represents a direct variation. $6.25, yeah. It's kind of, it's a good question. All right, so we're still doing that thing. Does y vary directly with x? So we're setting up the ratio of y over x. So we'll have negative 2.5 over 2, 8.75 over negative 7, and then negative 6.25 over 5. So again, we're just using division to see if we're multiplying by the same thing each time. So as we divide, negative 2.5 divided by 2 should be negative 1.25, I believe. 8.75 divided by negative 7 is also negative 1.25. And then negative 6.25 divided by 5 is negative 1.25 as well. So because they are all the same, that means we're actually multiplying by negative 1.25 every time across the table. So I could even continue to use this if I wanted to, which means this is a direct variation. So that means I can write an equation. And our equation in this case is y equals negative 1.25x. A very simple equation. Jeez. So this means that if you're asked for the constant of variation, the constant is negative 1.25. But the equation is y equals negative 1.25x. So keep in mind, you use the same data, you just use it in a different, one was equation, one is just a constant. All right, the next table I want you to try on your own. I'll give you, remember, when you're looking at a table, you want to know what you're multiplying by each time. So it's this piece that you have to set up, and of course it's always y over x. It's that ratio. We want to know if we're multiplying across the table, okay? So or two to give it a shot and see if it is a direct variation first. Then if it is, write the equation. All right, can somebody tell me can somebody tell me, sorry, I keep muting and unmuting myself like over and over again. Can somebody tell me, is this a direct variation? Did we discover if it is or isn't, or not yet? Okay. Now, the good thing is, now that you have an equation, you can use that equation for a variety of different things. Remember, 3 is your k, or constant of variation. But now that we know that we're multiplying across the table by 3, if I wanted to continue my table, I can say, all right, well, what if my x value is, 6? Could you tell me what the y value would be? 18, thank you. And we know that because we would just substitute a 6 for x, right? 6 times 3 is 18. What if I said, all right, my y value is a negative 9? Could you go the other direction? Yes.
Yes, you divide.
Right, so then what would our x value be? What is it?
-3.
A negative 3, right. So you can get the idea here by, we can use this equation to go both directions, depending on what we know and what we need. All right, here's Lee. Says the distance y traveled at a fixed rate of speed varies directly with the time of travel x. Write an equation if y is 250 meters when x is 25 seconds. So we're talking about, again, that ratio of y to x. In this case, the y is representing meters, Well, the x is seconds, which makes perfect sense because we're talking about speed, right? Speed is meters per second. Yes? Now they're giving us a rate of 250 meters in 25 seconds. But what we truly need is what is the rate per second? Because remember, that's the constant, like this constant speed that we're traveling at. So what would be the rate or the speed at which we're traveling? What does that mean? 10 what? Meters per second. Right, meters per second. So the good thing is now that we know we're traveling at 10 meters per second, we can write our equation, which is y equals 10x. And we can use that to help us. We can use that to make a table. We can graph it. We can do all kinds of stuff. So I want to talk about this though. If no time has gone by yet, or if I haven't traveled anywhere, then no time has gone by, right? You can kind of think of it that way. But at 1 second, how far have we traveled?
10 meters.
Good. And at 2 seconds, how far have we traveled? And so on and so forth. So hopefully you can see that relationship that we're multiplying x times 10 each time to get the y. Yeah? All right, for this next one, I want you to try really quick. Okay? Questions? Okay, just to recap.